Hey, greetings, Jedi traders. David here of TradingFibs.com to bring you the daily trend for week 2, day 1, 2017. It is January 9th. As always, please seek financial advisement when trading with your money, as these videos are for educational purposes only. To support your knowledge in the market, see what's going through my head on any given day. Always make sure you have a solid trading plan and always manage your stop when placing a trade. All right, today, guys, seemed more to be like a lame duck session as price action. Yeah, price action on the indices with a Globex trend, a really downside. NQ pretty much in a chop overnight. And ES and YM pretty much just finished out the day flat. On the other hand, the gold, the yen, and the euro in a nice uptrend, and crude, really the trend chart of the day. We'll take a look there in a minute. Any economic highlights here? Apple perhaps on the gains, pushing that triple Q higher, and Jim Rogers saying hold on China and go out and take a look at world markets. Take a look at Russia. So there is our there's our market today. We'll take a look at the charts as each morning. Make sure you check out the pre-market trend outlook here as I posted here this morning for the upside, as well as for any reason that markets might have moved downside. Well, let's just jump right in as we take a look at the daily gaps. Price action, knowing on Friday the daily, the NQ hit that 5K to the upside, and we held up above. It was crude really in the session here that held to the downside, opening up as a gap here at 53.32. So open gap up above. Thought we might catch that 51.48, but we're not going to close that out today. Maybe in the overnight or tomorrow's session. NQ, YM and ES again, not much but more sideways action throughout the rest of the day. Taking a look at the AD lines across again, not showing much momentum. Pretty much holding inside the range here, pretty much sideways. No runaway trends here on the AD line. So that's there on the range charts. We really didn't get anywhere. And taking a look at volume profile, we could see actually a nice, very healthy, clean profile here on the NQ today. A little price action above and below. 70% of the trading inside the range with the point of control out of the three indices. Really the NQ looking the best, and as crude as well. All right, let's jump right into the charts and then take a look at where we might be headed tomorrow. I'm going to jump to crude here, Monk, because crude really the trend of the day as we see here, price action, the combination of the MML, the Murray math lines. We're paying attention to resistance. We're paying attention to major support, resistance in the middle. But opportunities throughout the day to re-enter here on the total downtrend move through the Globex session and the intraday as it reached down here as closing out here down to 51.76, but it was the open gap here that was looking for 51.38. 48 with the 534 in trend. You have the T3 moving averages on the I apologize, the 51.44 holding you downside. So again, pretty powerful trend. Again, this is the intraday setup as we'll take a look here at the bigger picture, which is typically the 60-minute or the 4-hour or the daily charts. But awesome, fantastic move on the crude for today. I can't say that much for the other indices as gold did get a nice move up here, a little bit choppy here towards the mid-session of the morning, but again, a nice move to the upside here as price action. You have the 534 EMA here represented by the horizontal bar. You have the 51.44. That's the cloud that you see right here. The T350, which is the moving average price action, all upside here towards the mid-session to the PM session, and finally a sell-off downside. Again, you would have pretty much not gotten in anything in the afternoon session there on the gold. Yet again, a nice move towards. Let's go ahead and take a look here as we see the overnight session on the yen was a nice lift from Sunday's open here upside, a little bit of sideways action, and then finally another little push up. So really the yen with its major move overnight, can't say much for the intraday session here, regular trading hours, but euro again, another nice move. Pre-market again, overnight session was pretty choppy, but euro got a lift here. So whether you're trading the 6E or the M6E, here you go. You have yourselves a nice setup. Solid Heikin Ashi bars. You have the 5 above the 34. You have the 50 above the 144. T310 is in slope, so you got yourself a 6E move. Take what you can. Other than that, the only move here in the PM session was going to be to the upside. So you're looking for a move. T310 here, you can see slope down, so you avoid it. T310 just started to move there. But the way the markets were moving by this point, from the time here to the time here, almost 3 hours, you're like, forget it. Now, you can always go to a lower time frame. Instead of watching up here, you can see we're on a 10.7. You might decide to go down to a 5.4. Flex Renko and perhaps get some smaller entries. But by this point, we could see the market really wasn't moving. Can't say much about the indices. Again, NQ really choppy, but yeah, we did. We finished upside here as price action. You could see overnight session on the NQ was pretty flat here. Look at the Globex session. Again, some traders love it after that nice run up. That's what we're looking for in any given session, but that, again, is not representative of what we're going to get on every single day. So again, you got some, like I said, some traders love this range-bound session. You're looking for a setup. What was it? By the market open, your price action ran up to the Globex high. You had a couple of opportunities here, didn't go anywhere. You were stopped out. You weren't looking for the downtrend at this point. You're only looking for uptrend pullback here. By this point, you say, hey, I know exactly what I got going here in this market, and you pretty much avoided the afternoon session as far as anything that was clean on runaway trends. And, we made the case here in the afternoon. This was a nice pull up here to the target that I was looking for, which was 50.29, which I'll show you here in a moment. But what makes this setup different than this setup here and this setup here and this setup here and this setup here? Well, not much. You had all the charts in sync and just deeper pullbacks today. And you take a look at volume. Volume wasn't running anywhere. So you said, hey, I'm just going to write off the PM session, come back another day and just leave it be. All right, we'll get that chart later. All right, again, YM. Again, we saw YM was to the downside for the most part. In the Globex session downside here, had a little bit of pullback, but right there, that's your whole session right there. Not even worth looking at on the YM. And ES, pretty much same picture here as price action. Again, Globex session to the downside. Here we go. Looked much better overnight. Got a little bit of lift in the AM session. Tried to take a move back upside here. Almost started to get going here. And then right back down and didn't get anything going on the ES. So pretty much let that one go. All right. Let's take a look at the bigger pictures on the charts. Taking a look, let's start with the NQ again, sitting up here inside resistance here, 50 above 144. So we got two major uptrends on the NQ as we sit in this area of resistance up here around 50.19, 50.39, 50.39. So that's the upside level that we'll be looking at for levels of concern. Again, anything back to the downside, major support all the way down to 48, 43, 75, as we can see here both on the 4-hour and the daily chart. Again, expect some stalls along the way there if the NQ in any way runs down. But for right now, 50.39 upside, big picture on the NQ. As we can see, that would be the overbought here on the hourly. And then we'll take a look here at the intraday as we head into tomorrow's session. Taking a look at the YM, let's go here to the three charts as we see missing that 20K last week. Price action on the daily right up here. And again, that was on the Dow. We're not even close here on the YM yet, as we're now 125 points, 175 points away from 20K. 50 MA closing in. So here we have 20K upside. Back below resistance, 50 still above the 144. On the hourly, we've turned downside. So taking a look downside, we have 19,766 major support resistance, 19,766 here. So that's where I would be looking first if Dow is to continue or the YM is to continue anywhere downside for support. Make that evaluation either on the Globex or tomorrow during the midday session if we happen to move all the way down here. Otherwise, if we lift back up, we got kind of a divergence here of 50 below 144 on the 60-minute and upside on the 4-hour. The cloud here, 51.44. So again, 19.824, 19.824 is the range bottom here and the stall week reversal on the 4-hour. So I'll look for the market to hold here for now, at least on the bigger picture. If we continue to come downside on the HA bars, the Heikin Ashi bars, surely we'll look down to those levels, 19,766. And taking a look at the daily 4-hour and the ES, again, we're holding in this area of resistance, 2281 to 2250. Again, that 2250 is the downside move. As we can see here on the hourly, 2250 is support, major support resistance. Expect a bounce here. But again, 50 above the 144, 50 below the 144 here. So again, like the YM, we have a divergence of trend, and we're holding inside this resistance. So either direction, you got to be ready as we hold at these highs on a low volume day. Pretty hard to really make a decision on which way we might be going. All right, so let's jump into the long-term charts as we go back to the daily NQ. Again, these are the charts that I posted at the beginning and the end of the day. Taking a look at the pre-market trend, we just showed on the NQ. We're holding at this level of resistance, looking up here to 50.78, which would be the overbought, which would line up on both the charts, both the 100-tick chart as well as the daily chart. But as we hold inside this level of resistance, 50.39, and today calling out the 50.19 was the first level. And then taking a look at the 15-minute chart, or the it was the 15-minute chart. That's correct. Let me pull it right up here. There's your 15-minute chart that I was looking at. So 50.29, so just a different time frame. Little stall there as price action found that 50.29 resistance, and sure enough, pulled back to major support resistance. And so smaller time frame as we head up in these highs. So again, looking to tomorrow, I'll be looking up at 50.39, and if any pullback, I would be looking at, first of all, 5,000 to hold. If I break 5,000, I would be looking down at 49.21 as major support and resistance. But right now, the probability of uptrend is still holding. If we, throughout the week, continue to head down in any way, I'll be looking to 48.43.75. All right, taking a look at the ES. Let's get to the daily ES. Here we go. Again, same picture on the daily as we saw on the other charts. We're holding up here at that 2281, 25, 2250, the 2250. Again, same picture here on the 75 tick range chart, just a higher tick range chart, looking upside to 2281. So as long as we hold up here, if we break this resistance here at 2250 for any reason that a sell-off comes, I'll be looking down to 2218.75 as my first level of support to the downside. Again, I'll also want to watch the 5144 cloud for my first level of support as well. All right, finishing off on the YM. As we take a look at the YM, again, I'm looking upside to 2313 on the daily, but we got to break that 20K. So that 20K, whether the Dow hits it first, obviously, and then the YM, if the YM, we got multiple levels of resistance up here. So once we get up to that 20K, we got one line after another on two different time frames. So right now, major support resistance down here in 19,688 would be my first level to look, which is the stall week reversal on the daily. So mark that on your charts, 19,688. We break that, I'll look down to support around here, 19,375. All right, so that's where we're headed each day. Again, we obviously don't know where we're headed. We got to be ready intraday. And again, like I said, let me pull that chart up on the crude. Again, we can know what the daily big picture is, but if you're ready in both directions on any given day, you can get yourself into an entry on a smaller time frame, as we saw here in the crude. Nice chart trend today as price action on the crude came right down to the reversal, 51.76. Are just above 3 ticks to close out the session. Didn't close out the gap. Together with the 534 makes for a really great trend to hold on to. Use the HA bars. Again, you can use levels, but in my 2 cents, let the bars guide the trend for you on any given session. All right, as we head into tomorrow, economics-wise, again, kind of a lighter week, but earnings start on Friday with JP Morgan. As we head into next week, we'll be looking at Apple and some of our other big players. But a couple Red Star events, but it's the Fed speakers and Yellen there on Thursday, post-market. But any of those can move. Crude again moving based on a lot of words out there being thrown around, and not necessarily on true economic data. So I say go with the trend and watch the charts each given day. All right, that concludes an insight into the daily trend, technical momentum for the indices and key futures market. Feel free to stop by at tradingfibs.com or any of my social media outlets to obtain more information. My trading mantra, one simple strategy, any market, any chart, any time frame will keep you disciplined. You can find me every day on Twitter at TradingFibs. And as always, I leave the crystal ball to the experts. I only watch what's in front of me and on my charts. And as always, leave your buys at the door when trading. Hey guys, make sure to check out the pre-market trend as I post each day prior to the market. Each week, the technical momentum outlook, where I think, obviously, some of those numbers that I just shared with you, it's not a matter of where I think, it's just where the current technical trend is. If we're going to move up or down, be ready for both directions and watching some of those key levels. And also at the end of the week, wrapping up each day's recap for a synopsis at the end of the week. So plenty to read. But again, if you're interested in getting into the session, seeing what happens live, I can't say much for today except for watching the crude move down. Please feel free to email me, David at TradingFibs. You can join us on any Thursday or Friday to see the live charts set up as they happen in the trading day. Hey guys, have yourselves a Blue Zone day wherever you may be. Good day, good night, and good trading to you.